Let's go. And we got a slow connection tonight. What's up with that? Okay. Good.
Yeah.
I'll hit. And just turn on the camera and you're ready to go.
Hi, everybody. Yes, the wizard is never late. And if you think the wizard's late, refer back to A, the wizard's never late. Holy, holy cow, I'm happy to have Patrick with me. And I'm not going to introduce him. He's going to introduce himself because there's so much cool about him. I don't want to mess up, but I do want to make sure that I have somewhere to look while I'm doing this. And of course, it says yeah, here we go. Hold on a minute. Okay. There we are. Hi, everybody. It's Mary Beckman. This is Metaphysical Meltdown. And I was going to be ready to say how many episodes we've had this year. We've had, oh man, I can't get my page. We've had quite a few episodes this year, and we're going to have a few more people on. I just don't want to forget to tell you. So we have Dr. Amir, or else he has me, but it's going to come up on my page too. And then we have 3 other super cool people, but I haven't asked them yet. They gave me a soft yes. So I've got a bunch of cool people for you guys this summer. So let's welcome Patrick Corrigan, our neighborhood shaman, who stopped by today to be wizard in, July and June were wizardy months. And so he's here to answer your questions. So thanks a lot, Patrick, for doing this for us.
Oh, my pleasure. I always enjoy myself when we talk. So,
All right. Let me just make sure I can see what's going on over here now. Oh, very good. Okay. So can you please tell us a little bit about where you live, who you are, what you do? Just a little bit, and I'll ask you some more stuff.
okay, I am Patrick, your friendly neighborhood shaman, and I live out in Renton, Washington, just south of Seattle. Um, and I've been doing shamanic work for almost 20 years now.
Oh, gosh.
So, yeah, my main teacher has been Sandra Ingerman, but I've learned from, oh my God, tons of teachers, local and international, and reading books, and of course from my own spirit guides and everything. And I love my life. I love I can't imagine living any other way. So, and I can't wait to help people. I love helping people find their own guidance and their own connecting to their own spirit guides, and teaching shamanic journeying, where you can, which is the technique shamans have used for over 100,000 years to connect directly to their spirit guides, so that it's a system of direct revelation. You don't need any middleman or anyone in between. And so my job is to connect people to their own guidance, not to become their guide, not to become the one they come to, but ideally it's kind of to put myself out of a job. So
Yes. Yes. I always tell people, always be your friend, but I'm not always going to be in this capacity, you know, because that's what I do want. I want somebody to just fly,
exactly.
not come to me over and over again. Because although I love to hear from them, I love to hear from those that haven't been around in a while, and I've been enjoying uh, people from way back, which is nice. You know what I want to tell you is Tom is such a nice man. He saved a bird today.
Oh,
He was sitting out on the porch. It's like 500 degrees out, but he was sitting out there. And I guess he must have seen something, and some birdie had his little foot caught. So he had to go lift the bird up and out. And then
oh,
and it flew away. It was really beautiful.
oh.
Yeah.
I've always liked that guy.
Oh, he's got a good heart. He's got a heart for animals. Absolutely. Sometimes I send you texts and say, hey, I saw this animal, or I'm wondering what the heck this totem means. And I think that's exciting when you come upon somebody you don't know, and there they are. And I wish I had it up to show everybody, because I don't have a way to show people. But my friend was in California a couple weeks ago, and he came 15 feet from a bobcat who's just laying in the tree, just chilling. And it's a excellent picture. I think he wouldn't mind if I shared it, so I'm going to ask him if I can. But bobcat totem, we had to look it up, and it's a super good one.
Hmm.
So I want to just start out asking you, because you've been on this show before,
Yeah.
you do read people, and so I'm hoping that folks ask questions. I've had a few people ask questions. We'll go from those questions, and I'm sure people will pop on and ask some more. Um, oh, there we go. Yeah. So we have Jessica and Kathleen and Christy, Sylvia, Barb. Oh, good. Barb made it. So we're going to ask their questions. But first, what I want to ask about is, how does nature influence your work? And have you noticed nature just being so right there? I mean, it's like it's talking to us every second now. What have you noticed?
Um, I mean, my whole, I mean, we are nature, right? Like we always talk about being connected to nature, but we are nature. Earth, earth my body, water my blood, air my breath, and fire my spirit. It's like we are nature. And it's like I have noticed a deepening of connection. And like I try every day to get down to the Cedar River to do ceremony and such. And it's I've noticed that like when I get there, I'm just there.
Mhm.
Like it used to be, I'd get there and I'd have to kind of breathe and kind of, you know, shift out of day to day rigmarole mindset to get into the nature thing. And recently, I hadn't really thought about it until you asked, but like I get there and I'm there. It's like crossing that threshold into another world, and it's just um, so it's I don't know if it's I'm more present or the nature's more present or a mixture of both. But it's like the animals have been coming out of the woodwork and seeing different things. The other day, it's like I was sitting there, and this mama merganser duck just swims right past me, like 5 feet away, with all their little ducklings, like 20
Oh,
or something. It's just like these things that just it's like these little. You think you're doing good, and then it gets better, right? Like,
oh,
and then heron will show up, and for a long time, some people who follow me know about my friend Thomas the crow that always showed up. Like there's a certain time of the year when he shows up down there where I do ceremony, and if I don't notice him, he'll fly into the tree above me and start calling at me, let me know he's there. And I always bring part of my lunch with me to make sure he's got some. Um, and just the other day, it was like he hasn't been showing up as often to get food. And I think part of the reason he comes is because he's got a chick in the nest
oh,
eating. And so he hadn't been showing up a lot. And the other day, all three crows showed up. It was like he brought his whole family to introduce to me, and they just sat up in the tree right there above me. And so it's like the connection is palpable, really.
I absolutely agree. I finally figured out who this bird was that was visiting me. It's called a cowbird. Do you know that bird?
A cowbird. Is that
Slightly.
the one with the black head?
No, huh? It's kind of gray black, the whole thing. It's got like a very squared off tail that it holds up, kind of. And
Oh, I'm not familiar with that one actually.
evidently, what it does is the lady cowbirds have their babies in somebody else's nest, because
Oh,
out on the fence right outside my window, I noticed wrens feeding these chicks that are so much bigger and so different looking. And finally, I realized what was going on. Isn't that funny? They're just, and some
Yeah.
people don't like those cowbirds, opportunists, and they're bigger and they're mean and all that. But I haven't seen anything like that. I really haven't. And there's just so many birds and so many rivers around here. But I do miss the Cedar River, and that place you go is so beautiful.
Oh my
It's
God.
perfect for him.
I
That's
love it. It's like paradise.
so. What do you do? This is kind of completely. I just have a list in
Uh-huh.
no order. I just want to start off with questions and we'll take people's questions. Um, what do you find people need support with this year? So, how has 2025 been for the people that come to you?
I think it seems like people, how do I put this? People are waking up, like things are happening and people are starting to notice, getting intuitive hits and whatever different experiences. And I found that this year my main job has been to validate other people's experiences, like just to be the one. Like I can't tell you how many times I hear the sentence, okay, you're gonna think I'm weird, but and I'm like, I can out weird you any day of the week. And so just being that person to listen to them and to accept what they say, without thinking they're weird, without, and actually engaging them, asking them questions, and just to give them that recognition that this really happened, that they really are onto something, that there's nothing wrong with them. They're actually expanding, they're actually growing into who they're meant to be. So,
Wonderful. It's wonderful. And I agree. I think people are seeing things they haven't seen before, hearing, witnessing people around them, changing.
yeah.
So, what do you do as a shaman when you feel like you've gone sideways? What kind of thing?
I'm still figuring that out. My life, it's like it's easy to help other people, and it's not as easy to, I don't know how many times I've heard someone go, "Hey, but you're a shaman. Don't you know how to do that?" Or, "You're a shaman. You should be able to do that." I was like, "Oh yeah, that's right. I have spirit guides to help me. I can do this, and I have these skills and tools." But usually, what it comes down to when my life goes sideways is coming to a place of surrender, coming to a place of trusting, um, letting go of resistance. That's like the big thing. It's like as soon as things start to go sideways, you start to tighten
Hmm.
up. It's like, no, this isn't the way we're supposed to go, right? And you kind of trying to pull it back. And I just the past few days, I've had a lot of revelations about how it's like, especially in the past like 6 months or so, everything in my life has become topsy-turvy. And I've been trying my hardest to get back on track and to get things back in order. And it finally hit me the other day. It's like, oh, wait, this is a dismemberment. This is the
Yeah.
universe picking things apart so that I can start over.
Hmm.
And so like I've been having trouble with my professional phone number. My website. Um, I'm no longer at the store I was before. Um, I've had people die, and all kinds of just everything.
Yes.
And it's like trying to get back on track. And when it's like, no, it's that trusting that you're always in the right place at the right time, that spirit always has your back. Whatever is happening for the highest good. And that's not from a narcissistic, like kind of fundamental man in the sky, oh, I gotta please daddy, what did I do wrong kind of thing. And oh, okay, this is for my own good, even if I hate it. It's like not that kind of thing, but actually more of the trust and the realizing that you are part of the process, right? And that like I like to say, like if there's a challenge in your life, it's actually proof that the universe has more faith in you than you do, because
Really?
the universe knows what you're capable of, and the universe isn't going to give you anything that you can't get through. And so if you've got a challenge in front of you, yeah, it sucks and it's not fun and it's probably scary as hell, but it's proof that the universe has faith in you.
Absolutely. That's why I keep a journal so that I can go back like 5 days and see what Mr. Tesla said, and it's always right. It's just
Yep,
my little brain. Well, it can't be that. Can't be that easy. It's often ever so much more easier than we think.
absolutely. It's like it's always just stop struggling.
Yeah, especially this year.
Hmm.
This year has been that year because there have been a lot of losses and there have been a lot of deaths this year. I've noticed
Hmm.
big changes, things blowing up. It's an ending year, I think, isn't it? Isn't this a 9 year, Kathleen? Kathleen knows. She's there. I think it's a 9 year. Um, Thank you, Patrick, for that comment. We have a tendency to disavow this. That's absolutely true. That's why we love Patrick, because he's got a calm way about him and he can figure this stuff out. And he's somebody that I really love to hear from. So
Hmm.
there's only a couple more here, and then we're going to ask everybody else's question because people did send me some questions besides some questions on here. Um, so, what are you seeing? Well, wait a minute, you already answered that. Never mind. Um, but are your beliefs changing? And Kathleen says, yes, it's a 9 year. That's what I thought. This is the year where stuff ends.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Um, what was the question again? I'm sorry.
Question is, how are your beliefs
How are
changing
my
if they
beliefs
have?
changing?
Mm-hmm.
Um, I don't know that my basic beliefs are changing as much as it's more, it feels more like a case of moving beyond belief,
Mm-hmm.
if that's not a cliche. Um,
No,
but
it's
it's like living as if what I believe is true. And it's like it's more of a deepening into what is true rather than what I believe is true. Does that make sense?
absolutely. That's a perfect way to answer that question. Perfect way. Um, Me being my own weird self, I am recording what pops out of my head sometimes or out of my mouth, which is worse. These things that aren't even my own beliefs, oh, you're not smart enough for that, you know,
Right.
you're not this enough, you know, and I'm keeping a list and shucking that because it might not even be my own thing. But what you're saying is perfect because I asked that question of a few friends of mine earlier in the year. And I said, this is the year that we're going to see some stuff. We're going to see some truth. And of course, some of them said, well, it's going to be this, and this. It's not, it's us. It's always us. We're the ones that mess it up.
Yep,
Not really mess it up, but it's always what can we do?
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
We're the common denominator.
Yep. Because one of the things I read today is something I've been thinking about. Because sometimes people have situations going on around them, or maybe it's in the collective or further out in the world, that they hear or they're in it, right?
Hmm.
And they're believing some of the things they hear, maybe. And I always say, please wait a couple days because it's going to change. It will change. It will
Right.
change. And that has happened over and over and over. And that's called just these truth layers that are coming up. with the energy that we're in right now.
Yeah.
So I'm
It's
going
kind
to
of
ask.
like that. It's kind of like that quote from Mother Teresa when I can't remember, it's a long quote, but she talks about, if you're kind, people are gonna take advantage of you. Be kind anyway. There's a whole list of those things. And at the end, she's like, because it never was about you and them, it was about you and God.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
so it doesn't matter what anyone else is saying is the truth around you. It's that connecting inward to the truth within your own alignment and connection to Creator.
And I'm loving all the, I mean, even if, I mean, today when I went to the flea market, I heard some stuff, man. Oh my gosh. And I mean, people were just blah, 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 talking about all kinds of craziness. And and some of it is what they've read in social media or heard on the news. And they just regurgitated it as the absolute. And it's not my job to say that, or I'll get a old rotten tomato chucked at me at the flea market.
Right, right.
So you just kind of have to listen and go, okay, well, they're going to wake up just like we had to. We had to wake up.
Hmm.
I want to ask Kathleen's question because then I can go back and read the questions that Barb and I forget who the other person was gave it to me. So hold on just a tick. So
Okay.
Kathleen's question is, what do you feel the age of Aquarius will bring to humanity?
Hmm.
They're not going to be easy on you, Patrick.
Well, and it's kind of tricky too, because I don't know a lot about astrology. I know the whole, age of Aquarius and all of that. But what I do, I remember a while back listening to someone who mentioned that, it's a birth, right? It's a birth of a new era, um, a new age. And the thing is, we keep thinking that it's going to be like, watching the clock. Okay, it's midnight. It's the new day. We're going to be woohoo, right? But it's the birth, and birth is messy and bloody
Yeah.
and painful. And so I think that's what we're experiencing right now is that we're in the birth stage of that. I mean, and I look around and I see um, kind of the seeds of what we're going to become. Well, my default setting is Star Trek, as the world where everyone gets what they need. There's no, oh, they don't deserve that, and oh, they're faking it, they don't deserve that, or whatever. It's just where there's that universal honoring of every person as a human being
Hmm.
and coming together, just like in Star Trek, where it's because they come together as one world, and I don't want to feed into any conspiracy theories about one world government, all that kind of stuff, but it's by coming together and working complementary rather in that whole system we have of the hierarchy and competition. But in that mythos, it's because we were able to come together that we were able to create like a space program that can literally go out into the galaxy and explore. And I remember hearing where I don't remember what it was some channel I was listening to way back in the 90s or something, but they said that we have to become 51% harmless before we can start to get off of the planet. Like there's just it's about vibration and frequency, right? And that we can't get any further than here until we come together and raise the collective. So that's what I see happening. I can see this, the lights are going on in different people's heads and recognition, um, you know, beyond race and gender and orientation and all this stuff, like starting to actually appreciate, not just tolerate, but appreciate diversity and appreciate um, realizing that just because I don't understand something or I don't know how to do something, there's someone else who that's their passion.
Hmm.
And so they're going to do that. And by supporting them, what they do is going to support me in following my passion, and together we rise. Really, that's what I see.
That's sometimes I wake up in the middle of the night thinking about that, and I wonder how it's already happening. I mean, you can see it. You can see it happening. Some very, very basic things are being misunderstood about people. I
Hmm.
see that. That's basically what I was thinking about at the flea market was this basic understanding of how things work, of how physical bodies work. That
Hmm.
blows my mind. How well, how government works, okay, how programs work, how, you know it could be anything. There's basic misunderstanding, and that very loud lower voice is commanding the listening.
Hmm.
However, I also know, well, let's just get the old pendulum out about that. Okay, so holy ones, because I am already tapped in, aren't I? Yeah. Okay, so holy ones, how much can the collective, Patrick's collective, my collective, that overlaps. How much can our collective hear now in 2025? See, that's pretty good because we worked on that a lot in 24. I'm sure a lot of people picked up on the just cannot freaking hear each other because it's up to about 75%. So how much can the world, oh gosh, how much can the United States hear? How much can the United States in aggregate hear? And see, that's super low.
Hmm.
If we go to other countries, though, how much can other countries, people, kind of just depending on what it is, other countries have us beat on that, usually. Talking about death, talking about family, okay, and talking about hearing. Because the US kind of, and I'm not saying because I love all the beautiful places I've been all over the United States, and I'm always going to say that. But we're not great at listening, in my
No.
own opinion,
And
to
I
one.
think right now what's happening is people, because it's so like with social media and all of that kind of stuff, it's so easy to just spout off on these opinions and think, oh yeah, those guys, they're the problem, blah blah blah.
They.
And I think if you look at the bigger picture, what's happening now is a manifestation of all of that, and it's making people realize, oh crap, that's not what I meant. Like what they've been saying is coming into physical reality, and
Yeah.
they're starting to have to rethink what they've been thinking because, oh wait, that's not what I meant. If that's what I was saying, this isn't what I meant. And like having that physical display of the horror and the just, you know,
Yeah.
everything going on, that it's like, oh my God, this is what we've been creating. We need to do something different.
So that's exactly how we create it. I'm sure everybody that's watching knows what you think and what you speak. You're going to get that right in front of you on your plate,
Exactly.
you know? And so we got to be watching out for that. And I think people are knowing that because I can hear people then stop and start again. Oh, I don't want to say that. That's really not how I feel. Because a lot of that, how I feel, is actually how parents or uh,
Exactly.
early adults taught us how to feel. And sadly, the TV, sadly, the social media, depending on how old you are. Um, okay, so the question is from Sam Herbert: what could each of us do today that would help us to adapt to conditions in our country 1 year from now?
Oh, I love that. Um, one thing that comes to mind um, when I was learning from Sandra Ingerman, one of the things she taught us, everyone's all about connecting to the ancestors and getting guidance from the ancestors. But she taught us that there's just as much value reaching out and getting guidance from our descendants.
Okay.
And like, I mean, you can, if you know how to journey or just meditate and stuff and reach out to, and it doesn't, just like ancestors aren't necessarily just blood, right? And you can reach out to the descendants, like, like we did a journey in class one time, reaching out to the descendants at a time where we had figured all this out and the world came into harmony. and then ask them that same question, like, what can we do now?
Mm-hmm.
And it's really about all the it's all the things that you and I teach, and that, staying present, um, aligning before acting, like I'm always saying. Um, but it's you can also, one thing that I learned a long time ago, I went through like a decade of extreme panic attacks and anxiety and such. And one of the things I learned how to do from that, actually, I learned it earlier before I even knew about like creative visualization and stuff. But if was having anxiety about something, I taught myself to reach beyond that happening, like through time, and connect to my future self on the other side of that challenge. And I didn't even need guidance. I didn't even need to know what do I need to do. Just by connecting to that future and feeling the calm, feeling the relief of getting the right, getting, oh, okay, it's going to be okay,
Mm-hmm.
would shift me in the present so that I could face whatever it was more confidently, and it's by doing that, like you can just reach out to yourself
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
a year from now and set that intention, like, because I mean, there's an infinite number of futures ahead of us, right? And so choose, like, reach out to yourself in a future where everything has aligned, everything is working out. It may not all be fixed, but that we're moving in the right direction, that, and then connect to that person in the future, and then become that person now.
Work to become that person now.
Become that, because you are that person. That person is just another aspect of you. And so, and by connecting, you've already shifted your future in alignment with that one. And then everything you do from that point forward is a step closer in that direction.
That's beautiful. And if you haven't done that, everybody, you can. I mean, half the time my question is, did I make it through that? And it's like, oh yeah, you did. No, don't worry about it. There's like what is it? 12 different possibilities out there, 12 different roads. I don't know. All I know is we work on our frequency and our embodiment. That's it. So work on your
Exactly.
frequency and your embodiment, Sam.
And it's,
And
having that faith, it's hard sometimes, but no matter what is happening, like, I used to follow a channeler named a channel named Bartholomew,
mhm,
and he used to say, whatever it is God. There's nobody else here. Everything is the same energy. Everything. And so having that faith that the cards are stacked in our favor, and that everything, I mean, even the earth, in our bodies, everything moves toward healing.
mhm,
When left alone, it moves toward balance and healing and harmony.
mhm.
And so having trust in the bigger universe and the society, etc., that we naturally move in that direction. And that no matter what it is, I heard someone say one time that, God will use whatever's in front of you to get you home, no matter what's in front of you.
I believe that.
There's always a completely harmonious solution. One of
I
my favorite affirmations is, only good can come of this.
mhm, mhm. Yeah. It might look like nothing's ever going to fix, but I think we're going to be surprised
Yes.
how that's all going to happen. So I just keep putting my trust in the planet, and I trust myself now. I had to learn to do that. I trust myself, to trust my trusted people that are around me,
Mhm.
and know that spirit, your highest self, is speaking to you constantly.
Mhm.
And I've been really going through something the last couple of weeks about not understanding what a couple people are laying down right about now, because a lot of people are saying, oh no, this is this. If you believe that, you're this. This is that, and it's backwards and all that. Okay. So I got focused on something somebody was saying, and I tried to prove it to myself. And then I thought, I'm just going to ask. So the question I asked was answered by hold on a minute. Oh, come on now. So forever it was for like weeks and weeks and weeks it was Mary Magdalene. She was like my number one for a while. And then it's back to St. Francis and Nostradamus, which I really appreciate those guys too. But I really loved listening to Mary Magdalene. I can't find it. I'm going to paraphrase whom I think it was St. Francis. He was saying this individual is seeing something through their lens. You too have a lens. Trust in yourself. And everything just falls away because I see it in a certain way. Who are all those guides? Are they pieces of us? Probably. Why worry about it? As long as they're not, blowing you up, meaning, doesn't make your brain go nutty, and they can show you their gorgeous heart, and you feel all nice and squishy, and you know them, and they've never sent you wrong. They're going to be one I listen to, but I have to say I listen to my inner first. Okay, so Barb wants to know, will she have further recovery from the stroke? It's Barb Hall.
Yeah. So I work with the totem animals a lot, and porcupine's the one that has popped into my head. And porcupine is about like inner child, like innocence, and regaining that sense of playfulness. And I think that would be the pathway toward more healing. Like I was explaining to a friend one time when porcupine came up, I was like, if you take porcupine and kind of roll him up in a little ball, and it's like he's got his spikes going everywhere. And if you substitute each of those spikes for a ray of light, it's like porcupine becomes this little star. And it's the strength of that light that he's emitting that's coming from him that keeps the bad stuff away, right? It's his innocence that protects him. And so it's like, believe in your own innocence, believe in your source, believe, you are already whole, you're already divine, you're a spirit having a human experience, not a human having a spiritual experience. And that nothing's impossible. Like, don't keep shining. Keep shining. The more you can shine that light and believe in yourself and your innocence and who you are as a pure child of light, the quicker recovery will come, and that's how you will find new neural pathways opening up. And stack the deck in your favor, like when you're, don't go doom scrolling and that kind of thing. Like, look for videos and information about people who have survived strokes and come back to life like it didn't even happen, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like find those stories, feed yourself those stories, feed yourself that information, and believe it in yourself that you are God, you are creator. There's nothing that is beyond you. And know that everything is changeable, everything is fixable.
Absolutely. I believe that too. So Barb, I pulled you a card. I did it with dowsing as my answer. So the card you got was 83. It's called Release Your Matrix. Okay. So this card is, it starts out by saying, Have you ever been a people pleaser? Were you taught to put other people's needs before your own? Overwhelm is a familiar feeling to you. This code helps release in timing the program with the planet Mars, the healer, assisting this action.
Hmm.
Now, imagine planet Mars as the healer. Not necessarily known to be the healer. It's more like it's going to bust the heck out of something. Okay, so if your brain had a stroke, then it's up to you to restructure your life to bring about new learning, new people, new places, new information to ping all of that stuff. And I use porcupine too. I always say, blast your light out like a porcupine.
Exactly.
Said that many times. So Barb, let me just look a little further. So if I was reading Barb tonight, would I read from 83 to someplace else? Yeah, I would. So hold on, let me get my list because I want to give you a code, and I'm ever so much faster if I'm not picking the card in that way, just because of my hands being the way they are. Okay, so let us see. So if I was reading Miss Barb, is it one? Is it two? Okay, is it one? Is it two? Yeah, it's take back your own power, woman. And the thing is you have really done so well at this. You totally have. And I think somewhere in your mind you kind of know that you are going to just keep on walking forward, because I remember you right after you had it, and now you've just done so well, and your life really has changed. So which one of these is really important for Barb? Is it 39, 40, 41? Yeah, it's call your power back. So please take in that code, Barb. Where's my hooky dookie? 41 to Barb. Call your power back, because you have that power. So do we, are we doing something wrong when we get sick? No. It's a pointing up spot where you're stuck in some way. There's all kinds of information in how you get sick. I found it endlessly fascinating for almost 25 years. So does anybody else have a question? Because we have the shaman for a little bit longer. Let's, oh, wait a minute now. Okay, so Jessica says, I'm getting teary-eyed over here hearing this, as it's hard to believe sometimes that there are positive futures both personally and collectively.
So I'm going to invoke mouse medicine.
Cool.
If you think of mouse medicine is a lot about don't sweat the small stuff.
Mm-hmm.
No, don't sweat the big stuff. Oh, how does that go? I'm sorry, wait. Don't sweat the small stuff. It's all small stuff.
Yeah.
Right. And like I said earlier, it's like I don't want to get too deep into like quantum physics and stuff, but every possible future lies ahead of us. You are never stuck. And like Mouse's world is very tiny. Mouse doesn't worry about the cat next door or the dog down the street. Mouse just happily goes about his business with finding food and being with his family. And so it's like no matter what's going on out there or on the other side of the planet, focus on, like we were just saying, that focus on your own life, becoming the best you can. Like, how do I say this? You came here for a purpose. Every person came here with a purpose. And collectively, all of our individual purposes interconnect to build that best possible future.
Mm-hmm.
And so don't worry about what's going on around you. Don't worry about what people are saying. Focus on joy, right? Like I keep seeing memes about how joy is its own revolution, right? As like find your joy, follow your path. Don't let what's happening in the world keep you from fulfilling your joy. Your joy is your compass. That tells you, it's a God-given compass to tell you which direction to go in life. And the more joyful you are, like I always tell people, it's like when I wake up in the morning and then when I go to bed, I try to make sure when I go to bed at night that there's a little more joy, a little more beauty in the world than there was when I woke up. And if we are all doing that and focus on the joy, you are a sovereign being who came here with purpose. And the more you focus on that purpose, the more the universe will back you up, right? Um, because the world needs you to follow your joy. The world needs you to fulfill the purpose you came here for. It's not random, it's not accidental. And so the best thing you can do for the whole world, even if it's crumbling into cinders, is to be joyful, to follow your heart and do what brings you joy. Because like they say, the tide raises all ships, and the more joyful you are, the higher you raise that collective frequency, making it easier for others to find their joy, and up and up and up we go. Does that make sense? And there is always a completely harmonious solution. There is always a better way. There's always a better future. Um, I think if we were doomed to just keep going in circles, well, what's the point? Right? Kind of like It's a Wonderful Life. It's like if we weren't being shown all these horrible things, what would be the point to just give in and die?
Mm-hmm.
It's if we look at the other side of it, look at all of the unity that's coming out of this and the bridges that are being built and um, all of that side and the ferocity of the pushback against um, freedom and democracy and everything else. Put your bets on that, not on destruction, right? Like I said earlier, it's like the age of Aquarius. We're in the birth stage. Things are messy. Like I was saying with my own life, it's like I'm in the midst of a dismemberment. Like the universe tears things down first to build up what needs to be built. And so know that there is always a completely harmonious solution. That's one of the affirmations I use all the time, along with everything is always working out for me. And realize that if things are working out for you, how do I put this? It's like we're individuals, we're sovereign in our individuality, and at the same time, we are connected to everybody else. And so there is nothing that is for your betterment that will be to the detriment of anyone else. So don't sacrifice your well-being, your joy, thinking that that's going to help anybody. The better you do, the better we all do, right? And so there's the mouse again. It's like connected, but taking care of your own little bubble, and your bubble intersects with all these other bubbles, and the more joyous you are, the more joy is available to those bubbles, and so on, right? It's about entrainment, like that phenomenon where if you have a whole room full of clocks, eventually they're all going to be ticking at the same rhythm, right? And
Mm-hmm.
and everything rises to meet the highest vibration in the room. So be that highest vibration.
Absolutely. That's why people notice us. I always thought people looked at me a lot because I had a weird looking face. I believe that my whole life. I'm like, why do people stare at me like that? But I think it is a vibe, you know, because my job is to walk into some place and bring my good energy to it.
Mm-hmm.
And if I can't do that, I have no business walking into that place. I'm just not going to go
Right, right.
because I'm not going to get doom juice on me. So I'm not,
And like
slowly.
I'll go to the river sometimes, and like there's a couple different spots I go, and the one spot can be kind of popular during the summertime, especially. And if I
Mhm.
want to be alone, what I'll do is I'll sit there on the beach, and I'll just surrender, and I'll just focus on letting my frequency rise. And pretty soon I'll open my eyes, and everybody's gone. Or most people are gone because they can't handle, they're not like, oh my God, I gotta get out of here. But all of a sudden they're like, oh, I need to get home. Or they just start to feel uncomfortable with that higher frequency.
Mhm.
And so then it's like just people who are resonant with the higher frequency that stick around. But at the same time, by doing that, I just introduced a higher frequency to all the people who left. So there's like the seed being planted
Right.
that maybe next time they'll recognize that and they'll stick around trying to figure out what's going on.
Absolutely. So I picked a card. The card is 108 Generator. This is your free will. So, what this means is amp up your personal power with this code number 108. The pyramids and the sun are the platform for this powerful code of highest energy and transformation. It's probably one of the, well, there's like four super high ones. And when people get these, it reminds you that you have the ability to do just about anything as long as you keep your finger out of the yogurt. Okay? When you go on social media or when you watch something, okay, or you get in where there's some lower frequencies being bandied about, you're going to get the yogurt on your finger, and everywhere else you touch, it's just trust me, run your own frequency, because when your frequency is high, you are a beautiful thing to behold. You truly are. And you've got, I believe things are going to go better for you in the future. Patrick, do you believe in these waning moments, in the final moments of metaphysical meltdown? Do you believe that as this year grows into, past Lionsgate and into the, the winter solstice and all that, do you believe things are going to open up and feel a little different for people?
I think so. I tend to feel that. Yeah. I think, it's going to still be intense. I mean, this year has been so off the charts intense.
Yeah.
But I do think things are going to open up. I think that, like with Lionsgate, is that the coming of the sun is like the dawn,
Yeah.
right? And I think things will open up. It's not that there's going to be all,
Yeah.
but pay attention to the little. Well, like one of my teachers always said, she would wake up in the morning and look for, say, okay, universe, I'm ready for my three happy surprises. And
It
she
would.
would go through her day and she would find her three happy surprises in the day. And it's like, approach it that way. Like, tell the universe, okay, I expect three happy surprises and just keep going. And the more, and it builds and it accumulates and it's the collective. And I think it's just going to keep opening and opening and opening. And you can either focus on what's going well or you can focus on everything that's not going well.
Right, right. Because you know what I always think too is if I get in the way of somebody's breakdown or illness or anything that's happening to somebody else, if they do not ask me to, if I get in the way there, I don't want to change any of that, because what if that was their greatest teachable moment?
Exactly.
And all of a sudden I go, "Who, you want a code for that?" Just don't even do that, Mary. Shut up. I don't need that. I don't need that picture. I had a picture on my desk for the longest time that just said, "Don't even go there." Seriously, because I would like to say, "Hey, can I help you?" or whatever. Because it's just, if I'm just sitting there and somebody's in pain. No, because we all kind of have to sit in that for a minute. Might be years.
Mhm.
Until we get to that point where I don't want to be here anymore and I am going to change. Because change for the human sometimes can be a scary thing. And I do believe as the year gets longer, as we get into the colder months, I believe things are going to be quite different. I mean,
Mhm.
we've got a few years to go. I mean, everybody had the information of, like, what was it? 20, no, wait, what 2032 or something. I don't know. But I mean, do I want to be here when everything's done? I'd love to. But I don't know if it'll be that way, because I keep thinking, Spirit, thank God I'm here to see this, because I always wanted to be.
Yeah. And
Always
that's
wanted.
the other thing, like when I start getting kind of in the dumps and thinking about, oh my God, we're doomed. How are we ever going to do this? Blah, blah, blah. I start to remember it's like, no, I asked to be here at this time.
Yes. Yes.
And why would I come here to just, you know, pitter out or whatever? It's like, no, I came here to be a part of this. And when I think about the world getting better, and I get filled, like, as you can tell, I get passionate about,
Yeah.
I get passionate about the future and hope and joy. And so I know that that's not coming just from me, that that's coming from purpose. And I wouldn't feel that way if it was all just gonna peter out and not, doom and gloom. So it's like I remember that I'm here, and the fact that I'm here changes everything.
Yes.
Not that I'm the center of the universe or anything, but everybody's the center of their own universe, right?
Absolutely. That's right. Well, God bless you, sir. So, how do people find you?
Probably the best way is my website, perchingwolfstudios.net. Um, and like I mentioned earlier, like I'm still having issues with my phone number. I'm not receiving all my texts and my calls, but you can on my website. I also have you can connect with me. I've got a contact page where you can connect with me, and you go right to my email, and you can sign up for readings or healings or teachings. Oh my,
Yeah.
right from my website. So that's probably the best. Or on I've got a Facebook page, I've got an Instagram, and I also, if you check out my Perching Wolf Studios YouTube channel, I do two different videos every week. One on Monday nights where I do readings, and then Wednesday nights when I do the sacred pipe ceremony. I take you with me to the river, and I do sacred pipe ceremony and hold space for people to connect to spirit and take the world off their shoulders for a moment and that kind of thing. So
And that is beautiful. I've been able to hear him do that before, and it's gorgeous. Well, thank you so much, brother, for
thank you
coming
so
with me
much.
today.
It's
And
always so much fun.
it is. And Patrick is Patrick Corrigan, Corrigan.
Yes.
So please find him. And I just want to thank you so much for coming. So today is Tuesday. Tomorrow is Wednesday. So that means it's the Chub. It's going to be the Chub Club, 7 o'clock p.m. So please come back. I forget what I'm calling it, like between two ferns or something. I can't remember what I'm calling. But come back because the Chubby Club is working. And so please come back and find that. So again, my name is Mary Beckman, and I thank you very much. You can find me at MARIBECKMAN .com, I think. Oh my God. You can go to my website, and that's what it is. By golly, I know it is. MaryBeckman.com. Yeah, it is. Okay. Well, God bless you, Patrick, and everybody who came on with us today. We'll
God
see
bless you
you.
too. Thank you, everybody.
Love you.
Love you
Bye.
too.